What's up, ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies? uh, Divine here, and we're sitting right outside of the first year player draft. And spoiler alert, we did get the guy that we wanted. We really only had one guy on our board, and we had picked 10, and we got him. Cole Wilcox out of Georgia. Good stuff. More of a mid rotation guy. So we are still looking for that ace. Maybe one of these guys will develop. And I know you see that new name down there, Mackenzie Gore, and I know you see somebody missing from the lineup. So maybe you'll be able to put two and two together, as we did trade Joey Gallo to the San Diego Padres. So they miss out on one Nevada guy, and they get the other in this offseason. And as you can see, he's actually putting together a pretty good year. So I know you guys might be cringing over that, but let me explain it a little bit. So I made this trade with the, I guess acceptance that maybe he would have a breakout year and maybe he would be a 240, 400 OBP, 40, 45 homer type guy going forward. And that's fine. He's playing on the other side. He's just playing in the NL West at that, so we won't ever have to play him unless, we both meet in the World Series. They will have a strong team. They do have Fernando Tatis up, Manny Machado. Now they have Joey Gallo. Like, they're a pretty complete team now. They have Michael Baez and company coming up, Chris Paddock. But like I said, we won't have to see them. If that would have been a division, it would have been another story. We wouldn't have traded him. But I feel like at this point, with his value diminishing more and more each day, that to get a top prospect like Mackenzie Gore, and we also got Matt Strom, who hasn't been good so far for us, but we are playing him out of position. We're extremely thin at starting pitching, so we are actually having to start Matt Strom. But as you can see, he does have the stuff to be an excellent bullpen piece. As he only has 40 stamina, and we're starting him every fifth day, so it's been really rough starting pitching wise. But we are still sitting at 33 and 30. When we traded Joey, we were like 5 and 14 or 15. So we've been playing really, really well without him, and that just further backs up my point that I feel like this team is much more balanced without him. And that's with a Bubba Thompson in his rookie year. That's with Julio Martinez in his rookie year. That's even with the struggling Ronald Guzman, struggling Rougned Odor. This team is much more balanced without him. And what I mean by that is, let's just say we have a runner on third, one out. We need a sac fly. We already have guys like Willie Calhoun, Nomar Mazara, Ronald Guzman, even Austin Hedges, Rougned Odor, guys that have a lot of power, right? But guys that are, I'm not going to say most likely, but they have a good chance of striking out in that situation. And that's extremely scary when you have, situations like that, clutch situations where all you need is to put the ball in play. You don't have to put it over the fence. You don't have to put it in the gap. Just put it in play. And we score a run there. And we have 5 or 6 guys in our lineup that are extremely, extremely susceptible to striking out there. So, while Joey Gallo might be a good player, I think that at this point in time, especially with Bubba Thompson maturing and, getting more and more major league ready, we had to pull the trigger. Mackenzie Gore is a top pitching prospect. Maybe not so much as when he was drafted. I think he's more of like seen as like more of a middle of the rotation guy, which we seem to have a lot of. But things are changing in Texas. I hope you guys can see my mindset. I know I'm not the best at explaining this, but I just, when building a championship team and a championship lineup, pitching staff, bullpen, I want to be balanced more than anything. I don't want to, be elite in home run count. I don't want to lead the league in homers and then also lead the league in strikeouts and be extremely inefficient driving in runners and scoring position. And we might have 2 on and then hit a blast, and then we might have 2 on and 1 out, runners on third and second, and not drive in any at all, more than likely. So I want to be balanced, and I feel like Bubba Thompson makes our lineup much more balanced at this point in time and going forward, as he's not even fully developed yet, not even close. And he hasn't been bad this year, and we've been playing much better with him instead of Joey Gallo. So much better defensively, much more athletic, and is going to put the ball in play much more. So while some fans might think that that's a bit of a silly trade, I hope that you can see where I'm coming from with that. Going forward, I think that we're going to be a much better team without Joey Gallo, even though Joey Gallo is a good player, if that makes sense. So, yeah. We have Bubba Thompson, who's developing, like I said, a young 22, just turned 22 yesterday, actually. This year we're not really playing for anything. Next year he's going to be closer to his ceiling. He's going to be a much more developed player. Going to be playing for a much better team too, because we're going to have around $80 million to splurge. That's 2, maybe 3, guys that are instant impact bats or arms, and we're going to be a good team. Elvis Andrus is still there, 31 years old, going to be 32 soon. He's still very productive. He's a leader in the clubhouse. Happy with Elvis. Willie Calhoun is still there. He's still developing, having a good year. On pace to be a 2.3 win player. As you can see the stats there, he's having a good year. Nomar Mazara is really the story of this year, and really showed me why I signed him and was thinking about trading Joey Gallo, because in reality I knew Bubba Thompson was going to come up and he was going to have a spot on this team. I mean, that was 100%, but it was really whether I wanted to trade Nomar, keep Joey Gallo, maybe get less for Nomar than I would Joey Gallo, because he has more service time, but keep Joey Gallo and take the worst prospect, have Bubba Thompson, or I could sign Nomar and trade Joey, get the better prospect, and play Bubba, and that's ultimately what I did. And he definitely did not make me regret that decision, as he is having an all-star type year, close to being a 5-win player, on pace to have 33 homers. I knew he could do it. He just needs to keep it up. On pace to have over 100 RBIs. It's early in the season, and he already has 40, so I think he'll do that. He's hitting 288 with a 351 OBP. The OPS is close to 900. Just really, really having a great year. And, Ranger fans might doubt Nomar, but I always had faith in him. He came up at a very young age, kind of like Bubba Thompson. So let's just chill out a little bit. Let's give him time to develop. I gave him time, and he's developed. He's broke out in a big way. He's got his contract, and he'll be here for the next 6 years in this window. So happy about Nomar. Miyamoto, our top 5 prospect, has broke out in a big way as well, hitting 352 with 24 stolen bases, on pace for 62 stolen bases. As you can see, he's an elite runner, on pace to be nearly a 6-win player as well, so he'll probably be an all-star in his rookie year. Can play just about anywhere. Really, really good player. Again, probably one of my top 10 signings in OOTP ever. Ronald Guzman is having a bit of a down year, having a negative WAR season. So you don't want to see that, but I don't expect this trend to, keep going forward. He's coming off of an all-star year. The ratings are still there. Ronald Guzman is a good player, and he's not a negative win type player. He's going to improve going forward. It's still pretty early in the year, so I expect him to pick it up. Austin Hedges is having a good year, having nearly a 3-win season. Obviously, a lot of that is due to his elite defense, but he's a guy that I'm potentially eyeing for like a 3-year extension. He's 27 right now. He's about to be 28 in a week, and he has great personality. He's a captain of the team. Great defense. The bat is average to above average for major league catchers. The OBP is under 300. I don't like that at all, but he has pop coming out of the catcher position. Gotta love that, and his average is up to over 250. And like I said, the defense is elite. So Austin Hedges, if we go to try to extend him, he is looking for a big extension. If we can cut that down to 3 years, I might take a look at that. But guys, let me know what you think about extending Austin Hedges. Obviously not to 8 years, but let me know what you think about that. Rougned Odor is having a down year. He is also about an even to on pace to be a 0.1 negative WAR player, but he'll pick that up. Everybody knows that Rugi's a streaky player. Right now he's cold. When he gets hot, he gets hot. So I expect him to get hot and help us win some ball games. Obviously, the OBP is back down under 300. You don't want to see that from Rugi. That means he's striking out and he's swinging early in counts and grounding out and popping the ball up. Just what we've seen from Rugi at times, and he was doing really well. He had a great 2018, had a great 2019 for me actually, and so far in 2020 has been struggling. But again, it's early in the year. When Rugi gets hot, and I expect him to get hot. Julio Martinez actually gets the call up with Carlos Tachi hurt. Tachi was actually playing pretty well. He was in like 270. Yeah, 277 with a 311 OBP, so he was playing pretty well. Plays a good center field, but Julio Martinez has come up and played very well in his cup of coffee. I mean, the sample size isn't that big, but he's hitting 300 with a 417 OBP. Plays just about as good as defense. He's faster out there, and has more pop out of the center field position. He is another left-handed bat, though, so I think going forward we're gonna split time with Julio and Tachi, and we're really gonna see who is gonna be that starting center fielder next year going forward, as we try to change the culture and start winning. But yeah, it's good to have those competitions, and it's good that he came up and shown that he's pretty ready for this, and yeah, it's exciting. Going over the prospects, though, Jack Leiter hasn't pitched yet because he's still in rookie ball. Maybe not that ace that I hoped he would be. His development has stopped a bit. Our scout thinks that his ceiling might not be as high as he initially thought. OSA still thinks he can be a very, very good pitcher, but only time will tell. Hopefully he can be at least this, hopefully better. I really hope that he develops that changeup to have that fourth pitch to be potentially elite, but last year he struggled mightily in rookie ball. He's going to start off in rookie ball again this year, so we'll see what he's got. So Jack Leiter looking like maybe a back end to mid rotation type guy. Initially I thought he would potentially be able to frontline the rotation, but maybe Cole Winn is that guy, as Cole Winn has shown signs of developing even past what I initially thought when we started this franchise. The fastball is elite, and so is his off-speed pitches. If he can even develop a league average changeup, I really think that he can be the frontline starter. The stamina is there, the velocity is definitely there. He's pitching very well in A-ball. He's only 20 years old, and he's pitching far past his age. He's developing far past his age. At some point, he's going to be wanting to play in the majors, and he might get a few spot starts. We might see what he's got. I don't think it'll be this year, but next year I think that you'll see maybe 5 starts from Cole Winn, so we'll see what he's got. Bubba Thompson's up in the majors. You've already seen him. Nick Solak is struggling a bit in AAA. So he did have a really good spring training, but you see this a lot. Guys struggle in the minors when they're really angry and they want to be playing up in the Major League Ball club. Anderson Tejada. Now, Anderson Tejada has been playing extremely well. He's on pace for 3.5 win season, on pace for 26 homers, close to 100 RBI in minor league. That's big since they only play about 130 games. Has a 276 OBP or average and 344 OBP. For a guy like Anderson Tejada, who is more of a slick fielding middle infielder with pop, that's big. That's big that he has that average so high and that he's playing so well in his first full season in AA. He's really shown that maybe he is deserving of a call up sooner than I thought. So yeah, Anderson Tejada has been a pleasant surprise this year. Owen White has been developing quite nicely as well. The numbers don't say it. He struggled last year in rookie ball, but skill wise, he's developing quite nicely. Just need that control to develop. And Mackenzie Gore, the prospect that we got in the Joey Gallo trade, looking like a mid-rotation piece. Hopefully he can develop more. He has struggled in our system, but before we got him, and the main reason why we got him, pitching very, very well in AA in the Padres system. And last year in A-ball, he didn't pitch that well, but his skill set is advanced for his age. So Mackenzie Gore's been a top prospect for a couple of years now, ever since he got drafted, and we're excited to have him. And looking at the Major League bullpen and staff, Michael Wacha's pitched pretty well. Frankie Montas, who we got on waivers from Oakland, has pitched very, very well, so I'm glad that we picked him up. Other than that, everyone in the rotation has struggled pretty well. Jake Odorizzi was pitching very well for a while, had a few bad starts like the one in LA and the one in Houston. Other than that, he's pitched very well this year. But bullpen wise, Jose Leclerc has been getting more of a workload. I said that we would try to get him over 60 innings this year. And the walk rate is just way too high. Like I said, 7 walks per 9 is just not going to cut it. But he hasn't been blowing saves, as you can see. He might be giving up hits. He might be walking people. He might be, getting himself in self-inflicted jams. But he's still finishing the ball game. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He's on pace for 41 saves with a 4.5 ERA, so he's just really like head scratching. But right now he will be the closer until he shows me that he's just not suited for that role. The South Korean has been very good. He's a guy that can go out there and give you 2 1/3, can give you 3 innings, as you can see with his stamina. He's been pitching very well. He's on pace for 124 innings, so maybe the usage rate is a bit high, so maybe we want to reel that back a bit. But he is making a chunk of change for a bullpen arm, so we're damn sure going to use him. DeMarcus Evans has been a bit of a disappointment, especially after having such a great spring training and being the story of spring training. But he's going to get extended playing time. The season doesn't really... I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it's not as important, as next year. So get him some innings this year. Hopefully he develops a bit more. Hopefully he can get that walk rate down. I mean, he's walking 8 per 9, so could be a lot worse there. Ryan Presley is pitching well. We have him under contract until next year. So that's good. I'm sure next year after his contract's up, he's going to be, making upwards of 5 somewhere. We're not going to pay him that, but happy to have him here now. Chris Martin is having an even better year than last year, and he's on pace for 116 innings. So, another guy that we might want to reel back a little bit, but he is having a fantastic year. The only downside to that is obviously this year we're probably not going to contend, and him having such a great year, obviously we're going to bring him back, but the arbitrations is going to be a high number. I expect him to make like $7 million probably if he continues pitching this well. So I mean, that's pretty bad, but I mean, if we get this from him, that's not a problem at all. He's been pitching at an all-star level, so I'm willing to dish out that money. We have money. Andy Beltre, we did sign him on an $850K contract, nearly major league minimum, and he's had a sub-3 ERA. Another guy that has had a high usage rate. So we have been using the bullpen a lot, obviously, with this shit-ass staff, and they've handled it pretty nicely. As we do have the 5th bullpen ERA in the league, so that's good. Jeffrey Springs has pitched well again. Obviously not as good as he was last year, but last year he only threw 28 innings. He's on pace to throw 54 this year. So he is just a specialist, but it's good that he's been coming in and doing his job and getting lefties out. So that's pretty much the rundown. The big stories are the Gallo trade. I've already talked about that. The first year player draft, we had one player on our board. He fell to us. So things are looking really, really good. And I'm excited. This year, like I said, we have $80 million to play with in money. Chu comes off the board, or the payroll. And we're going to have a lot of money to play with, man. And better be damn sure we're going to spend it, because we got most of our young players locked up. We've spent our money very, very wisely so far. We've opened up avenues for our young players to come up, and we'll use their service time instead of paying a veteran to play that position. We're becoming more of a balanced team. So the goals are next year start to develop this winning culture. Guys like Nomar Mazara, Willie Calhoun, just our younger guys in general. Pretty much everybody outside of Rugnet Odor and Elvis Andrews hasn't really been of a part of a winning culture in their career so far, and we really need to create that early. We need to start that next year. We need to get them adjusted to winning. We need to get them, striving to winning, and we need them to want to win. And like I said, we just need to get that atmosphere back in Texas. It's been nearly 4 years of losing here, and it's time to change that. So I'm confident that I've done a good job so far, and that I'll make the correct moves, going forward, especially in this offseason. This is going to be a very, very important offseason for us. If we hit big, then this could be like a Chicago Cubs situation where we go from like a 500 team to really going over the edge and potentially winning our first ring in franchise history. So next episode, I'll see you guys in the ever most important off season this year, and after that, we'll see you in spring training to start to hopefully win. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been 3 or 4 days since I've uploaded. I've just been a bit busy in real life, just doing some stuff, but expect these to continue to be uploaded often, and I've just been having a lot of fun with this series, and it's going to be even more fun now that we're hopefully beginning to get into our window. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any suggestions or thoughts or anything, be sure to leave a comment, and see you guys in the off season. Peace.